inflation data today came like a punch in the stomach to Jay Powell and his colleagues. Their narrative is that as the year progresses, we should see inflation start to abate and to come down. And there was not even a hint of that data. Now, there were special factors at work related to Omicron and the challenges there. But still, if we're going to get inflation to 3% for this year, as Jay Powell has suggested, we've got to see some progress. And I think we're also going to have to see a increasingly aggressive Federal Reserve. And I think that clearly after today's inflation data, 50 basis points for March has to be on the table. And I think the Fed's got to step back and say, even if we do 50 in March, is that enough? What are we going to have to do through the rest of the year to wrestle this inflation to the ground? Because it doesn't seem like it's abating on its own, at least. There's no sign of that yet.
Okay, it's sounding pretty scary there, Nathan. So put this into context, though, and talk to us about the risks of the Fed having to get a lot more aggressive than initially expected, hiking into a slowing economy. Because we talk about inflation at 40-year highs, growth, at least last quarter, Q4 and Q3, was also at about 40-year highs, right? But the quarter we're in right now, right? Things are slowing down. People have been trimming estimates down to negligible to maybe even no growth. What about yourself at Citi?
Yeah, so I think the momentum at the moment is a little bit soft. And I think that is bearing the imprint of Omicron. The pandemic. As we move into the spring, our sense is the consumer is solid, the labor market is solid, and corporates, broadly speaking, are in a pretty good place. So we do see some momentum in the U.S. economy going forward. Yeah. And I think what this boils down to is if the Fed's going to get an assist on this inflation, it's got to come from improvements in the pandemic. We've got to see some rebalancing away from the red-hot goods sector into services. We need to see some attenuation of these still intense pressures in supply chains, and that's where it's going to come from. I think that there's, on the spending side, there's still a fair amount of momentum.
Good morning, everyone. 9:41 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. As you can see, we had a very volatile overnight. I seen we had just over 2,700 views on that video from 7.5 hours ago, which I was stunned. Usually I get about 1,500 to 1,700 views. 1,300 while I'm sleeping if there's a little less people on, but this one exploded and has almost 3,000 views already, 150 watch hours. So a lot of people have been watching it, paying attention. So at least by knowing that, you guys were not caught off guard this morning. We've had some volatile swings. The one that I can show you the most as far as being volatile, the way the swing went so up and down, right here. So we had a consolidation to the downside with Shiba. We bounced all the way back up to the drop point, and then we proceeded to drop right back down to where we started, and within a matter of hours, and now we're hitting the 2687 resistance. So we've gone down, confirmed 25 as support on this drop, gone up and confirmed the resistance at 2687, and now if we come back down, we'll come down to 2232. And I know it's a steep drop, but that is what we're working on this morning. We've got the total crypto market cap, which is up 3.1 billion to 1.73 trillion, which is up 1.81%. So what are we working on here? Same thing as I was showing you with Shiba, which is why I started there. Had a nice volatile push up, but then within hours we gave it all back, and now we're starting to work on this resistance of 174 and the 1722. Once we make 170 the resistance point, we're coming down to 1652 and then 1581 or 1582. The Bitcoin dominance this morning, because we've got to fly around, is at 42.27, down 1.07%. But as you can see with the Bitcoin dominance, we could be building this bottom in here. Unless it reverses back down and the Bitcoin dominance chart wants to come back down and retest this 41.38%. Right now, we've got a beautiful support at 41.91. And it's in the consolidation area, which is fantastic that it came back down here. It looks like it's trying to hold. And if it holds here and bounces up, you probably will get a retest of that 44-45 percentile on the Bitcoin dominance. If it breaks down from here, you get 41.38. And if it breaks that consolidation area, you come down to 40.79 and possibly 39.83%. I don't anticipate that, but that is a possibility. Tether, because we got to see all markets right now. We had a continuation of the downside, but Tether is also volatile. It's trying to come back up and touch its drop point. So if it breaks up, we're going to get a break to the top side to about 33.28. But if this breaks down, now you're starting to talk about these lower numbers, 31.86. And Tether, I believe, is going to help collapse the crypto market when they... there's a lot of stuff going on with Tether. So if you're not aware of Tether, you are going to have to get aware of it pretty quickly here. Because these are the way it's going to go. And I know these all go back into the pattern. So that's what you'd be looking at if we were to break down from here and get out of this tight range. Enough of that now. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 145.14 to 38,527. We had volatile swings overnight, trying to reach this drop point, but we never even came close. We hit 39,400. We could not get back up to the drop point, and now you're starting to see like I said yesterday, we had room in the 30-minute to run. When I went to bed, 39,457 was my target I thought all upside would be capped at 39,497 yesterday, or 457, and it was. Now we came right back down, tested 37,508 as new support that hadn't been support yet. So after that nice push up to trap people, now we've tested the brand new support at 37,508. We're trying to make 38,386 resistance. No reason to dick with this. You just got to pay attention and be alert and not get sucked into the FUD. A lot of people were calling for a huge pump last night, and we wake up this morning to prices lower. XRP, same thing. I've seen a lot about XRP. XRP makes this bounce off of 75 cents, right? Where was it at last night? When everybody started losing their nuts. 76 cents, and it made a push up. And then we know it made the reversal. And then yesterday we were in this consolidation all the way down to 76. And then it made this push back up to 80 cents. Like I said it would, to 80430 to touch that as resistance. I even showed the way the pattern would go the entire day yesterday. Then we came down below 77,281. Tried to touch the 75. It's actually 75.5, and we've talked about this. So that actually did almost come down and touch. Not quite. It's supposed to be like that, 75.532. So it didn't hold that, and now it's trying to make 75 cents to support, and I think it's pretty much done that. I'm getting rid of this mid one. So I got rid of that one. That's just going to confuse us. So I'm going to get rid of that. So we've got 75.532 support, 80494 resistance, and we've proven this now last night. So that's all that trading range was. We just worked our way down from having this area, which there's no point of even keeping these into smaller areas, because now we've got 85,290 resistance. We've got 804, the next resistance point. So we've got 80494 resistance, 75532 support. Below that, we got 7222, which will not hold if we break down, because this is a sideways action. So we're going to end up coming down, in my opinion, probably to that 68602 if we were to break down, with stopping points at 7222. And then there was obviously that 698 I had up there for a reason, but we've got to open up this chart so it's not so confusing. Make sure to hit that like button, turn that bell notification on, and subscribe to the channel if you're new or returning. Join the over 7,200 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and also the 220 members of Tom's Army. By joining Tom's Army for $9.99 a month, join the rest of the, like I said, 209 members that are in the Telegram, and you get all of this and more. I don't delete anything, so you guys get to see every single comment that has been in here over the past few weeks. There's tens of thousands, maybe even 50 to 100,000 comments now. I talk to a lot of people, so if you want to talk to me personally, this is no joke. You just come and text me on here. We've got Precious Metals site, we've got a private channel, and we've got the Freedom Fighters Network that are all included for free just for believing in me and Tom's Army. So if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody in the crypto world, or if you just want a community that feels the same way as you, I've built something special, and it runs beautifully based on each and every personality in there, and it's more than I could have ever anticipated. I'm going to show you XLM and DGB, and then I got to go. So the XLM hit 1892 perfectly, that support, and now it's bouncing like we were talking about. 1945 resistance, 1892 support. And we talked about if this breaks down from here, because these look like continuations of the downside, unless we create a W here very sneakily, which we'd have to pull down again. We're coming down to 1731 or 16.8 very quickly if this doesn't hold. This is like our last hold point, ladies and gentlemen. These little volatile swings like this with very little volume coming in. These are our volatile swings. So we came down to that 1910 practically our support. Our resistance is 2145, but we're trying to get through here so we can get down to where I was talking about. Into this area. This seems like a nice confluent push area to 1684, but our next stop is actually not there. Our next stop's that 1806 area. And then we've got below that would be this move to 1668 that we keep seeing. So that's what you got now with DGB. If it doesn't hold, we're in some very serious trouble. We're not looking great, ladies and gentlemen. The one thing you need to take out of this update is even though they're going to try to trap you with some of these volatile swings like they did overnight, this is looking brutal. And with everything we know, the safest place is, in fact, on the sideline. I'm not a financial advisor. Should you take my advice? No, but if you don't, you're likely going to be down some 50 to 60% if you aren't already.